All right, so a big part of preparing for back to school isn't just the backpack and what is in your bag and the different items. There's a lot of mental preparation too that we as parents have to carry our children through. So I want to hear from you guys the different stages and transitions that the children have to go through. What are some ways that we can prepare them, especially even thinking about those going from prep or primary school into high school? That's a big shift, right? So I want to hear from you guys what you think about that.
Well, I'm going to go from, because I have an older daughter, from high school to university.
Ooh, straight adulting.
So carrying her to university now from high school, it wasn't even a local university. She went overseas, so I had to leave her. But I stayed the first week with her, help her to prepare, get her organized, her room organized, her things organized, and even go to see where her classes would be. So we'll get a schedule of where her classes would be. So it's not on one building, it's on many buildings on different campuses. So we did a little tour basically of where she's going, and I even sat down in the class for the first week. I probably was a helicopter mom at that time.
I love that.
That was a big transition.
And I'm sure that gave you peace of mind because you actually have a visual of where she is throughout the day and what is going on. It's not just a big blur for you.
Right.
So you
have an appreciation for how she will move.
Yeah, that was very smart. I'm glad you got to do that, to actually be there for a week to settle her up.
Very emotional.
It was. Yeah. And what about you, Tankita? Any tips on that?
Well, certainly, I think especially that early back to school period can be so stressful for parents and overwhelming. Making a transition from one stage of school to the next comes with a lot of psychological preparation. You're moving from sometimes a little bit, you're just in a bubble, and then you're moving to the children are moving to a larger school with a larger population, and you no longer know all the teachers and all the parents, and you're not, like you said, you're not allowed into your son's classroom, so you really can't get a look and feel for what that's like. So just really being able to prepare your child or your children so you can let go a little bit and loosen the reins so that they can become independent and form, their own form their own personalities and stuff. That can take a toll as a parent because you want to always be able to control and be
the separation anxiety.
The separation anxiety, yes, is there. You can't, if your child forgets homework, you can't call the teacher and say, hey, my son forgot his homework, I'm going to drop it off, kind of thing. And then, there's getting out the house now is different because there's traffic. Maybe the school is further away.
So you have to adjust your whole schedule.
And that means then you have to adjust probably your work schedule because you may either be coming in earlier or later depending on what that drive is like. Then the pickup is another thing. You might not have the activity. So just really just having a good, as I think Sarah said it earlier, that you plan ahead and you have your to-do list, but you also have to have that schedule has to be on point. Because especially if you have multiple children like I do, you have different activities at different times, ending at different times of the day. So you want to schedule pickups and so on, and you don't want to be at work and be flustered. So just mentally, just being in a space of super planning, super preparation, both for letting go and for really trusting your children to be independent and to be responsible. That can really take a toll. So you really have to start that process from early before the term actually begins. So when the term begins, you kind of just know.
Rolling it out, rolling the plans out.
Yes. So, some mommies and daddies and aunties and uncles, we can do it. It may seem overwhelming at first, but if we are stressed and overwhelmed, our children are going to be stressed and overwhelmed. So we have to start
feed off our energy.
Exactly. Start preparing mentally from now so that when you get into September, then it's, even if we have to wing it and we're nervous, it's kind of still, put that brave face forward so our children can feel comfortable and confident that, okay, mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, whoever believes in me, being able to function independent and they've sufficiently prepared me so I can do this too.
And I'm really glad that you brought up the auntie, uncle, because one thing that has saved me big time is my community. And thank God we have friends and even neighbors whose children goes to the same school as my children. So we have a massive carpool system. Like we have our spreadsheet and everything.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's like about 4 or 5 families that we have a schedule, a carpool schedule, and we rotate which parent is going in the morning.
That's fantastic.
Afternoon, and this is for the 2 schools, prep school and the high schoolers. And so we're able to work it out. So the aunties and uncles have literally jumped in to save day, and the grandparents.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really makes a big difference. And I know a lot of people don't have access to that, and so it might be a little triggering talking about this. But if
but
it's
where
that
you can pull on your community,
Pull
you save
on them.
money as well.
Exactly.
You know, to pay for transportation.
Exactly.
That's great. That's fantastic that you have that. Yeah.
Big up to my team. Carpool.
I'm looking for a carpool crew, so no, that me.
Yeah. One more thing I want to say is for the parents, don't sleep on the PTA and all of the different
WhatsApp chats.
Yes. The communication that the school is trying to get you into, especially for that transition from prep school to high school. I know for my son's high school, they really did a lot to try and over communicate for those parents so that you can know exactly what is going on. They try to send you the information in a timely manner, give you opportunities to come and meet with the teachers and all of those different things. Sometimes you might say, oh, you know, they will get used to it or they will acclimatize during the term. Yes, children are resilient and they do, but for your own peace of mind, it does help to invest the time in those initial stages to just go into the school and go to the meetings that they come to do.
Get to know everybody.
Get to know everybody and get involved. So,
because you don't want to like forget to submit the immunization
all the registration
card on
stuff,
time.
immunization, all of those different things. So
Right.
just follow the different helps. that
Keep
they give you.
updated. I have a challenge following keeping updated with WhatsApp chats because sometimes they can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But I try and schedule a time if I'm waiting at the doctor's office or if I just sitting somewhere for a while, maybe at the hairdresser or something. Just take the time to kind of scroll through and see what. Hopefully, there's nothing that you've missed too far back. But you know, just try as much as possible to keep updated through the WhatsApp chats and the emails and so on, so you don't miss anything, or at least you know you can catch up if you do miss something.
Yeah. Sarah, I wanted to ask you, in terms of your daughter who is away, how do you manage the communication throughout the term? Do you guys have a schedule of time to catch up, or what do you do?
Well, we're like best friends, so we really speak all the time.
Everybody cute.
We speak all the time right throughout the day just to see what is happening, even if it's for a moment. If we don't answer each other call, we're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're like, I'm in a meeting or she's in a class. But we do try to keep up. So it's not hard at all. That communication is really, really wide open.
Right.
Oh, yeah, very important.
So I guess for you, the main thing would be to encourage parents to invest in that relationship with their child in general.
You have to know what they're doing and what's going on, and
then they feel safe enough to come back to you about all the randomness because you spent the time investing in that relationship.
That's right.
Love that. There's another tip that one of my friends recently just told another mom, and it like blew her mind. When it is that you're getting literature books, always ask a friend who was in the grade before.
Oh yeah,
about
for sure.
But we take it for granted. Not everybody thinks like that. You just think you get a book list, go and buy all of these things. But it's like those who were in the forum before read it, they don't need it again. Just gonna say, hey, are you doing anything with your books? Would you like to pass them on to me? Or family members can swap books and share. So before you go and spend a bag of money, check a friend who might be in a grade ahead and just say, hey, do you have these books? And they can share with you. And then you can even give it back to them after if they have a child that is younger coming up.
Or they have another sibling.
A sibling that is coming up. You can just say, I'll give it back to you at the end of the term. And the cycle of life continues.
And some schools have like a used book sale as well. So you can so you can donate your books or put them in the sell pool and then purchase from that pool as well. So you're not buying it at full cost, brand new.
Exactly.
So that's something that, you know, it's an idea for parents who may want to.
Right, because once it's not a workbook where you have to be writing up in it, like, why do you need a brand new book?
Certainly at a high school level.
Exactly.
I love that. That's a great tip.
To close it out, I want to hear from each of you one last tip for our parents out there. So Sarah, what's your one last tip?
So my tip is to be organized. Start early and have a to-do list so that you can check off what you need to check off and that you don't become overwhelmed and flustered at all the things that are coming to you. Definitely, again, don't wait last minute.
Okay. And you can even do your to-do list on your phone. So it don't have to be a physical list. You can have it with you on the road, wherever you go, to just check off along the way.
Put it in a family chat.
That's a good point.
Okay. Everybody's aware of what needs to get done. What's your last tip, Tankita?
All right, so I think, again, keeping everybody informed by putting things in the family chat, I think is great. But also, like, hydration is a huge thing in this because it's so hot.
It's just gonna get hotter.
And it's getting hotter. So if they are not comfortable, then they can't focus.
Yeah.
So just really having things that will keep our children hydrated and making them aware that these things are there, and they remind them to, drink your water and so on, keep cool. But also, the hygiene stuff, like the sanitary stuff.
Yeah.
The wipes and the hand sanitizer. Just making sure they're always stocked in their bags, and just reminding them that they're there and to use them. And also not to share things like personal things as well with other children, because children are icky and contagious.
The virus is just spreading like crazy.
Yes,
so
and we don't want to, we want to keep them as healthy as possible, because if they're sick, then they can't go to school.
Caring is not always sharing.
Certainly not sharing from the same igloo. Yeah.
All right, great. For my last tip, I would encourage the parents to prepare your children mentally for the new school year. So when you're getting closer to September, sit them down, have a talk, say, all right, guys, we're getting back into the school routines. In the summer, the brains are fried. They've been on all kind of gadgets all the time. They might have totally forgot what it takes to get out in the mornings for school. So remind them all of the different time, the wake up time, what should be ready the night before, packing your bags, your shoes are out, your uniform is ready to go, and in the morning, make sure your snacks are in place, all of the different items that you expect from your child. Talk it through, have that conversation, and make sure they're on the same page. That will help you not to be flustered when it is the times comes for back to school. So, hope you learned something from us today. Hope our tips were helpful and that you have a very successful and relatively stress-free back to school time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All the best for the new school year.